I feel like Ray today. I'm even wearing my Star Wars shirt underneath. Not like any of you would care. So, we are going to do the layered cake meditation. This is an instruction on the primary form to do the dragon egg. You learn these steps first. It's a very wax on, wax off creation, and then we evolve into the dragon egg. It is best to do this meditation every day. Do it at least once a week until you graduate to the dragon egg. You should perform one dragon egg at the very least, at a minimum, for Malkuth. I will put a specific dragon egg on every Sephiroth or every initiation. I will also create the crystal yoke temple. So it's a process of building. And then there will be a Heart of Malkuth meditation as well to accompany everything. All of these meditations are to trigger your subconscious mind, to rewire your neural pathways to move forward, so your physical body can understand that you are now officially in Malkuth, and then we can proceed. You should do every meditation on that list before moving to the next initiation. That's the line. Draw a box around you. Start clockwise. You draw the floor in. You draw the ceiling in. You draw the posts. Now, imagine that that box has been drawn in with metal braids. This can be shown on the pearls page of the layered cake. The metal is like a dark silver metal that is bendable and flexible, pliable, but as a braid it begins to strengthen. Preferably only a 3-wire braid. But if you want to get very advanced, you can do 5. And so you draw on the floor, making sure that that is a metal braid. And you draw it clockwise. And then you draw the ceiling in with the metal braids. And the posts. And then we have the anchor balls. These balls are opalescent goober jelly. They're spheres that sit on every corner of the box. So you make sure there is a goober jelly ball in every corner, clockwise or all at the same time. In each anchor ball, on the inside, is a little metal bracket. It looks like the post of a miniature stop sign. So a little metal post with holes on the inside. Just a few holes. This is where the metal braids and wires can plug and will plug into. And then wrap around and tighten and secure and fasten. If you would like, you do one ball at a time. Eventually, you'll be able to do 4 to 8 balls at a time. And you'll feel it and you'll see it. Now, there is a central column in the middle of the box. It is a column of light. And there are 3 strands of DNA spiraling upward in that box, and 3 strands spiraling down. This should look like the portal in the Legend of Korra. If you do not know what I am referring to, because you have not watched the Legend of Korra, that is a problem you need to deal with. The entire class will continue that way. Three strands going up, I perceive as metal. 3 strands going down, I perceive as metal that has turned into liquid light because it is so heated up. It is now molten. Very Tantra format. Earth going up, God going down. Balance. In the center of the column, there is a spine. Imagine that stop sign pole. We are now referring to it as the central spinal column. Remember the anchor balls in the corner? From each anchor ball, there will be a diagonal braid that plugs into the central spine of the box. This is to mimic our own body's intelligence system. I like, when I draw my box, to use the entire floor of the home, apartment building, or wherever I am residing. If I am in a duplex, I only use my own home. If I am in an apartment building that is a tower, I do the whole floor of the tower. If I am in a house, I do the entire floor of the home, the house. And if I am outside, I create my own box using some kind of boundary that I like to keep consistent. So from each anchor ball, it will plug into the central spine. And it will grow up the whole spine up towards the ceiling. And it will grow down towards the floor. This is your first cube or box. I understand that all the boxes are not necessarily cubes, but I will still refer to them as the cube. This box or cube creates the foundation for your electromagnetic mental energy to start filling in the holographic matrix around you. It begins with your mental body. After it's come through in your spiritual form, eventually it will start to manifest physical things. After you get through and push through the emotional components. I currently reside on the second floor of a building. We will be creating 5 boxes up, or 5 cubes up, and 4 below the surface level of the earth. So I need to do 1 more below to even reach the surface level of the earth. and 3 above, and then 4 below the surface level of the earth. Draw another box and do the math of what you're going to need to do. I'm going to draw a box above. First, the first thing I like to do is throw up the anchor balls. And make sure that they're on the next floor of the corners of the box or cube. And then I begin the one below by throwing those anchor balls below me. It's easier for me to anchor in with the anchor balls because they're magnetically attracted to the corners. And then let the metal braids grow into the anchor balls in a clockwise direction. And what I do is I begin to draw on the ceiling from each anchor ball with the metal braids, and I watch the posts grow upwards. And the metal braids plug into the little fasteners inside of the balls. And then I do the floor. And I let the posts grow down and plug in to the anchor balls. Now, I have a central column to extend up and down into those 2 boxes. And the DNA growing up and down in both of those central columns. And then there is the central spine. And from each anchor ball, there is a diagonal going and plugging into the spine with metal braids. This should look like there are X's, 3-dimensional X's in the box, in each box, and they plug into the center of the room or into the center of your box. Those metal braids plug into the spine and grow up and grow down. If you would like to create support beams on the ceiling and floor, you can at diagonals. I have 2 boxes above that need to be created and 4 below the earth. So I will do 1 above, 1 below. Now, I will throw the anchor balls up and throw the anchor balls down. And in a clockwise direction. I will create metal braids, outlining the box. On the ceiling and on the floor. The floor of the one below and the ceiling on the one above. And I will let the posts grow up to that ceiling and down to the floor. And then plug into the fasteners. And then we have the central column with the DNA strands growing up and down. I like to say they're dancing. And then there is the spine. And this is in the box above and the box below. And the anchor balls create diagonals and plug into the spinal column. And maybe you would wish to put the support beams in, which are parallel to the horizontal planes, but they're at diagonals on the vertical. So like they're diagonals that go from the corner to the spine, but they are flush with the floor and ceiling. Instead of anchor balls plugging in to the center of the room or the box. We have one more box above and 3 boxes below. Anchor balls up to the ceiling corners. Anchor balls to the floor of the box below. Metal braids on the floor, going from anchor ball to anchor ball in a clockwise direction. And on the ceiling, and the posts growing into those anchor balls and plugging into the metal fasteners. And then we have the central column with the DNA spiraling up and down, dancing. On both the box above and the box below. And then you have the central spine, and the box above and the box below. And from each goober jelly anchor ball, the metal braids will cut at a diagonal and plug into the spine. In the box above and in the box below. Make sure your support beams are in to the central spine. And you should start feeling like your tower is solid. Now you have 2 boxes to do below, or if you're in another position, you have 2 more boxes to accomplish. I am going to eventually teach you how to do all of these at the same time, but for now we will start with just 2. So we go anchor balls below, 1 set, anchor balls below that. So you have 2 sets of anchor balls in the 2 boxes at the bottom. Make sure that feels good. And then you let the posts grow down as you also draw in the floors. This is way easier. With both metal braids. And then you make sure that the central column extends down all the way with the dancing DNA. 3 up in metal and 3 down in light. And in the spine, there is that central spine. Your diagonals will plug into the central spine, and the metal wires will climb up that central spine and climb down the central spine. It's okay if you didn't do it right the first time. We are always going to be evolving and learning. And that should feel good. Make sure your support beams are also in there on the floors. Now, at the top of your tower should be a pyramid, and at the bottom of your tower should be a downward facing pyramid. So what you will do is grow from the corners of your boxes on the top of your tower a hat in the shape of a pyramid. And then you will put a jelly goober anchor ball at the top of that pyramid on the point. The same metal braids will be outlining each pyramid. And then they will plug into the fastener. That or something better. And the anchor balls below will move downward into a descending pyramid. And at the bottom point, there will be an anchor ball below. I like to refer to this as like your foot root chakra. Your foot. And the top of the pyramid is like your crown root chakra. Or your crown chakra. It's your crown root because we're in Malkuth. Now, once you feel both of those pyramids have been drawn in and solidified, we are going to put 3 pearls above and 3 pearls below. The 3 pearls can go on top of each other or next to each other in a random configuration. Each of these represents a specific component of the chakra system. The higher ones represent the higher self chakra, the divine femme, the personal divine femme, and the personal divine masculine. Above that is a great central sun, where you begin to plug into the universal system. In below, there is the Earth Star of Earth Star, and Earth Star of Earth Star of Earth Star. And then you have the core of the Earth. So you have the 3 pearls below, the 3 pearls above, a giant central sun above, and the core of the earth below. They're just going to be sitting there. But eventually your wires will grow and plug into them. They will anchor your tower in like an umbilical cord. The more you can anchor into both the higher divine planes, the lower divine planes, and then the physical planes, the more you are going to be able to heal and transmute your body for magic. This tower is here to help you anchor in your energy or inner chi so that you develop a specific and systematic thought pattern that will eventually become strong. This is elite mentalism. Now, you have your tower built. You are anchored on the planet, and you will be connecting to Earth Star and Earth Star of Earth Star and Earth Star of Earth Star of Earth Star, like Russian dolls, and into the core of the earth. Now, we will be doing a magic circle. This is where the cake comes in. We built the main frame, but now we have to build the cake. If you need to pause this video and then watch it tomorrow to fill in the void, do so. Draw a circle around you in the current box you are in. You go clockwise, and I like to go on the outer edge of that box. We are going to section each box into quarters, but we will be leaving a very small gap at the top of each box for the icing of each layer of the cake. Each quarter will be representing an element: earth, water, air, fire, and the icing will be the etheric jelly. So we draw the circle around us, and I like to draw it in a 1 metal wire. And through each point, I imagine I'm wiring through a loophole that will stabilize and anchor my wire. And then I say, I am an earth bender. And I see the element of earth pop off of the wire in little spears. And I start to feel the element of earth come into my box and fill it in that section. The next will be water. I am water, and I send a wire through the next quarter of the box. And I start feeling the water element coming in. And the next, I am air, and I send that wire through. I am an airbender. And I feel the air coming in. Sometimes you will feel the etheric energy, and as you begin to become very advanced, you will actually feel the shifting of the element physically. I am fire. I am a firebender is the next element. You start to see the box being purified. So now our quarters should be filled with each element. If you have a problem connecting to one specific element, it just needs to be worked out. You are not more air because you have a block in earth. You have a block in earth that needs to be resolved. You cannot be an avatar or on a path of self-mastery, only connecting to one element. You need to be all of them. And up at the top, we are going to ice our cake. I am a spirit bender. And we see grape goober jelly icing the top layer of the cake. And sometimes I like to paint the outside of the cake in the grape goober jelly also. Now we will do it to the remaining 8 boxes. Let's see if we can do them all at the same time. So we draw, we imagine ourselves kind of on the outside of our box, looking at it from a distance, And then we can see our empty boxes, and we see our one full complete one. And then we imagine a wire circling each box at the bottom quarter. And you say, I am an earthbender, and you fill each bottom box with a cylinder of earth, and you stack it. And you can see where it is still empty in your tower. And where it's beginning to fill up. You have to use your brain. Where it is painful to visualize something is because you have a trauma there that needs to be healed. And it's okay to only do a little bit at a time as you begin to slowly heal yourself. Next, I am water. I am a water bender. And you draw a circle at the next section or component of every box. So that's the second layer to our cake. And you let that fill in. And you count 4 below Earth, and 1 of the 5 above Earth should be complete. So you count 4 above Earth. And then you include that 5th one. I like having painted the outside of it as a goober jelly, because then I know that it's complete. So it's easier in my visualization to move forward. The next, I am air. You do 4 below and 4 above the surface of the planet. And then we do the next, and we loop the next wire around each box. I am fire. I am a firebender. And those little spheres pop off of the wire and filling that section of layered cake with fire element. And then next, I am a spirit bender. And you draw the wire in each box at the top. And then off pops little grape jellies and fills up the top of each cake with a grape jelly, icing glue. You can imagine a palette knife spreading it. And it should start feeling good, like you're solid, you're actually gelling with your own home or with your own temple. Make sure that the four that below the surface of the earth are complete. And then you do the four above. You might start feeling like you're getting in a better mood. You've plugged up some holes. And then you coat the outside of each cake with that jelly. To do real good, clean magic or witchcraft, you need to develop wholehearted control of your own mental faculties. So if you lack control of your mind, your magic will be sloppy. The reason I like working with Lucifer as a dragon, his magic is not sloppy. And it's very grounded and grounding. Make sure that that jelly is complete. Now you can have metal coming from the top of your cake and the bottom of your cake and plugging into the top of the pyramid and at the bottom of the pyramid. And then it will plug into the pearls, the great central sun, the pearls below, and into the core of the planet. Now, this is my favorite part. Draw an electromagnetic star in each jelly. There should be 10 of them, 10 planes of jelly. So draw a star from the bottom left-hand corner. You can do it looking up. Draw a star and then bring it back to the bottom left-hand corner. And as you do it, it activates in a Shakti format. And you cut the cake. And each star ends up creating lightning throughout your layered cake. So that now you are receiving divine Shakti. And it is usually a purple shade of magenta with white. like the spirit vine energy in Korah. You should start seeing clarity coming through your home. And you might even feel the kundalini going through your spine. And your eyes awakening. You might be able to breathe a little deeper. It is from this space doing any ritual gets exponentially more powerful. Try doing the Kabbalistic cross after you've done that. It just turns into lightning. That is it for the layered cake. Practice, practice, practice. And you can also visit the pearls page once it is complete. Should be on the Malkuth pearls layered cake link. And you click on it. That is it. Kali Run out. Enjoy.